Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Guru Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Guru Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Guru Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So it is, as everyone knows, Lord Balaram's appearance day. So I thought we could read from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 17, the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya in his youth, in text 115. Everything's alright? Everything's alright? No? Oh, okay. Oh, you gotta dot your I's, right? Ekadina Prabhu Vishnu Mandape Vashiya.
Ekadina Prabhu Vishnu Mandape Vashiya.
Madhu Ana Balana Dakiya.
Madhu Ana Balena Dakiya.
Ekadina Prabhu Vishnu Mandape Vasiya.
Ekadina Prabhu Vishnu Mandape Vashiya.
Madhu Ana Balane Dakiya.
Madhu Ana Balena Dakiya.
Ekadina Prabhu Vishnu Mandape Vasiya.
Ekadina Prabhu Vishnu Mandape Vashiya.
Madhu Ana Balana Dakiya.
Madhu Ana Balena Dakiya. Ekadina Prabhu Vishnu Mandape Vashiya. Madhu Ana Balena Dakiya. Ekadina Prabhu Vishnu Mandape Vashiya. Madhu Ana Balena Dakiya. Ekadina Prabhu Vishnu Mandape Vashiya. Madhu Ana Balena Dakiya. Ekadina Prabhu Vishnu Mandape Vashiya. Madhu Ana Balena Dakiya. Vishnu Mandape Vashiya. Madhu Ana Balena Dakiya. Ekadina Prabhu Vishnu Mandape Vashiya. Madhu Ana Balena Dakiya. Ekadina Prabhu Vishnu Mandape Vashiya. Madhu Ana Balena Dakiya.
Word by word translation. Ekadina. One day,
one day,
Prabhu,
Prabhu,
the Lord,
the Lord,
Vishnu Mandape,
Vishnu Mandape,
in the corridor of a Vishnu temple,
in the corridor of a Vishnu temple,
Vasya,
Vasya,
sitting,
sitting,
Madhu Anna,
Madhu Anna,
bring honey,
bring honey,
Madhu Anna,
Madhu Anna,
bring honey,
bring honey,
Balena
Marina,
says,
says,
Dakiya,
Dakiya,
calling loudly.
calling loudly.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. One day the Lord sat down in the corridor of a Vishnu temple. So this is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his childhood. One day the Lord sat down in the corridor of a Vishnu temple and began calling very loudly, "Bring some honey, bring some honey." So next text. Nityananda Prabhu Goswami, understanding the ecstatic mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, brought a pot of Ganges water as a token and put it before him. After drinking the water, Lord Chaitanya became so ecstatic that he began to dance. Thus everyone saw the pastime of attracting the river Yamuna. Purport. Yamuna Karshana Leela is the pastime of attracting the Yamuna. One day, Sri Baladev wanted the Yamuna river to come before him, and when in the river Yamuna refused, he took his plough, wanting to dig a canal so that the Yamuna would be obliged to come there. Since Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the original form of Baladev, in his ecstasy he asked everyone to bring honey. In this way, all the devotees standing there saw the Yamuna Karshana Leela. In this Leela, Baladev was accompanied by his girlfriends. After drinking a honey beverage called Varuni, he wanted to jump into the Yamuna and swim with the girls. It is stated in Srimadbhagavatam 10:65, 25 through 30 and 33 that Lord Baladev asked the Yamuna to come near, and when the river disobeyed the orders of the Lord, he became angry and thus wanted to snatch her near to him with his plough. The Yamuna, however, very much afraid of Lord Balaram's anger, immediately came and surrendered unto him, praying to the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and admitting her fault. She was then excused. This is the sum and substance of the Yamuna Karshana Leela. The incident is also described in the prayer of Jayadev Goswami concerning the 10 incarnations. Vahasi vapushi vishade vasanam jaladbam halahati bita milata yamuna bam keshavadrita haladar rupa jai jagadisha hare. So I'll just read a few more verses. When the Lord in his ecstasy of Baladev was moving as if intoxicated by the beverage, Advaitacharya, the chief of the Acharyas, Acharya Shekhar, saw him in the form of Balaram. Vanamali Acharya saw a golden plough in the hand of Balaram, and the devotees all assembled together and danced, overwhelmed by ecstasy. In this way they danced continuously for 12 hours. You could try that sometime. And in the evening they all took a bath in the Ganges and then returned to their homes. And then it goes on. Om Ganativarandasya Garanjana Shalakya Chakshulamilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Ukam Karidavachalam Pangam Langai Tegirim Yakripatamaham Vande Shri Gurun Diritaranam Vancha Kalpadurvishcha Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gauda Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, for more of this pastime, you could read the Srimad Bhagavatam or the Krishna book. It's given in full detail there. So Lord Balaram, he is known popularly within Vrindavan. India, Vrindavan, as Dauji, which means the older brother. So I remember one time I was going, I joined Dinabandhu Prabhu, Prabhupada disciple. He takes devotees around Vrindavan to the different holy places and he explains them. He's actually quite extremely learned and nice devotee. So I was there, and then I was part of the group. Maybe there was 30 of us, and then Dinabandhu Prabhu, he, I went up to him and we were just exchanging, kind words, this and that. And then he asked me, "Oh, where are you from?" I said, "Oh, I'm from SanDiego." He said, "Oh, okay." And he said, "What's your name?" So this is like many years ago, like I first got initiated, and I don't even think I was familiar with the term Dauji. I actually wasn't. So then I said, "Oh, my name's Balarama, Das." And then he just, he like raised his hands and, in his loud, enthusiastic voice, he said, "Dauji, Dauji," like that. And like I said, I wasn't familiar with that, and I was like, okay, this is interesting, So anyways, the Dauji means older brother. So, as in Vrindavan, he's known. So when we talk about great personalities, whether they be the Supreme Personality, Krishna or Balarama, or different forms of Krishna, or we talk about great personalities in terms of our acharyas, our previous acharyas, the question's always there, okay, we understand to some degree that they're great, right? But the question comes, okay, well, the next question is, okay, well, how do I get their mercy? How do I get their kindness? How do I get their good wishes on me? That's usually the next question. So we may ask ourselves, okay, how do I get the mercy of Lord Balaram? And the answer is very simple. We just have to take it. You have to take the mercy. For example, Srila Prabhupada, I was told that he said this, but it makes sense. So, what he said is that, I am distributing my mercy freely. I'm distributing my mercy freely. But he said Vishnu Jan, which is his disciple, Vishnu Jan, he's taking advantage of the mercy. So the mercy is fully there for anybody who wants to accept it, but we just have to accept it. That's the idea. So by good use of our independence or our free will, we will accept it, and by bad use, we won't accept it. For example, the other day at the Krishna Lounge, there was a lady there, and she's seemed on some level pious, good-natured person, and she somehow heard that, there's going to be a kirtan at Bhakti-Vatsal and Lita Shakti's house, and she was asking me, can I have the address? I said, okay, so I gave her the address. She said, maybe I'll see you there. I said, okay. So then yesterday I was taking a walk up to Faneuil Street, trying to get a little exercise, and so I was walking past, so I went up there, and then I was walking back to the temple, and I passed this bar. I think it's called The Dog. That's what the bar is called. It's called The Dog, So that's a small little, dive, small little bar, and somehow the people like, the vibes there or whatever, but The Dog it's called. And so I was walking by, and I just looked over, and then I saw that same lady, and she had a pull stick, the pool table. She was getting ready to play some pool, probably maybe drinking, I don't know. So by no, she didn't see me. And this was getting close to when the kirtan was going to happen, so she was obviously going to miss it. So by misuse or by good use of her free will, she could either pick, okay, I'm going to go to the local dog, right, bar, and play some pool, waste some time, and that's what they call that in English, wasting time. Or I'm going to go to the kirtan, right? So she picked the bar. going to the dog. So similarly, we also have our choices, we can make on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis, and throughout our lives. That what are we going to pick? Are we going to pick something mundane, or are we going to pick Lord Balaram's mercy or Krishna's mercy? What are we going to pick? And by using our free will in a good way, we actually will flourish spiritually. And by misusing our free will, we'll dry up. So that's what happens. So practically speaking, our absorption, or people's absorption in material nature and material energy, is so deep and so involving that, practically speaking, for all practical purposes, it robs one of the ability of even the interest in God, the ability to be God conscious, to be Krishna conscious. It robs them of that ability. For example, men, not all the time, but sometimes, may have attraction to electronics and motorcycles, right? And women. And, due to that absorption, they can't really, there's no room for anything else. Again, I was walking and I look by and I see these two guys, yesterday too. I saw these two guys and they're just sitting there staring at their motorcycle. I was thinking, wow, this is like, motorcycle samadhi or something. They're like taking darshan of the motorcycle. And, maybe they're going to pull out an incense stick and start, worshiping it or something. Have so much attraction. And that attraction, interesting enough, is that although it's so, you could say, mundane and so insignificant, a motorcycle or whatever their choice is, it's so mundane and insignificant that they like, again, they're like in samadhi. It's like full absorption in that particular thing, and therefore no room for Krishna or Balaram. And women, not all of them, but for example, they may not be into motorcycles. Maybe they are, but they may be into purses, right? Collection of purses, shoes, or decorating the house nicely, right? Going to the local Home Depot and just spending money, and then decking the house out very nicely. And they spend almost their whole life doing that, making it nice, this and that. So in this way, people are too busy. So there's a verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam by Lord Rishabhadev, 555. So it's Parabhavastavad bodha jata yavan jigyasata atmatattvam yavat kriyastavad idam manovai karmatmakam yena sharira bandhaha. So this is what it means. As long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, one is defeated and subjected to miseries arising from ignorance. Be it sinful or pious, karma has its resultant actions. If a person is engaged in any kind of karma, his mind is called karmatmaka, colored with fruit of activity. As long as the mind is impure, consciousness is unclear, and as long as one is absorbed in fruit of activity, he has to accept a material body. So one's basic interest in spiritual life is destroyed by absorption in this world. I mean, material absorption in this world. Again, motorcycle, whatever it is. But also just the simple day-to-day activities of this world. For example, the evils of this world. It's a duality that people become absorbed in. Now, of course, I'm not saying whatever don't look at the news or don't know what's going on in the world. But if we make what's going on in the world of the topmost importance within our lives, which is just the dualities of this world, the evils of this world, then again, where's the time for getting Balaram's mercy? So when we talk about getting Lord Balaram's mercy, which he is said to be the original guru, the original spiritual master, there's a way to do it. So first point we have to understand is that God is merciful, or Balaram is merciful, Krishna is merciful. So that's the first point. And then understanding that point, we have to say, okay, well, how do I access that mercy? So there's a way to do that. So in one of Narottam Das Thakur's songs, which Prabhupada said is his favorite song, Yamuna Devi Dasi asked him what was his favorite song. Prabhupada quoted this. Hari Hari Vipale. So in one of those lines it says, Vrajendra Nandana Ye Sachish Sutta Hoyo Se Balaram Hoilo Nitai Dina Hina Yatichilo Harinama Udorilo Tada Sakshi Jagai Madai. So it's saying that the son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna, he became Lord Chaitanya. And the son of and then Balaram became Balaram became Lord Nityananda. And then they were distributing mercy, and they delivered the most fallen people. And what's evidence of this? Because everybody wants evidence, right, nowadays. So the evidence is Tara Sakshi Jagai Madai. The evidence is they delivered Jagai and Madai. So these very two terrible, horrible brothers. So now, interesting enough, in Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, I turned right to it. I didn't even have it marked. Amazing. So, in Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, Namam Duskritana Mudha verse, Prabhupada talks about people who don't surrender to Krishna. There's a very interesting point in relation to Lord Nityananda and Lord Nityananda's mercy. It should be interesting for all Vaishnavas and aspiring Vaishnavas. So this is what it says. One second here. So Naradama, that's one of the people who don't surrender to Krishna. Means the lowest among human beings. They don't surrender to Krishna. The lowest of the student population, right? Prabhupada says that in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, and what does Prabhupada say? He says, however, no process is strictly followed now in any part of the world. Prabhupada's talking about the reformatory ceremonies. The Garbhadan samskar and the different samskars, the different religious ceremonies. He says, however, no process is strictly followed now in any part of the world, and therefore 99.9% of the population is Naradama. When the whole population becomes Naradama, naturally, all their so-called education is made null and void by the all-powerful energy of physical nature. According to the standard of the Gita, a learned man is he who sees on equal terms the learned Brahman, the cow, the dog, and the elephant, the dog eater. That is the vision of a true devotee. Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who is Balaram Hoilo Nitai, Balaram became Nityananda Prabhu. Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who is an incarnation of Godhead as divine master, delivered the typical Naradamas. And who were they? Yeah, Jagai and Madai. The brothers Jagai and Madai. They were brothers too. And showed how the mercy of a real devotee is bestowed upon the lowest of mankind. So the Naradama who is condemned by the personality of Godhead can again revive his spiritual consciousness only by the mercy of a devotee. So Lord Nityananda Prabhu, he has chalked out the path, what we should be doing with our lives. And namely, he's the one who was instrumental in delivering Jaga and Madai, these two sinful personalities. And there's a big history, long history in relation to that. So yes, everybody in Kali Yuga, they are fallen. And as Lord Nityananda said to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if you kill these two brothers, which Lord Chaitanya was about to do, because they offended Lord Nityananda, then you'll have to kill everyone in Kali Yuga. Because everyone's more or less like these two brothers. And Prabhupada says 99.9% of the population. So, Srila Prabhupada, he was in Los Angeles, and he said a very interesting thing about how we get the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So, what he said that the whole goal of Krishna consciousness is approach Radha and Krishna, Radha Giridhari. And he said, but in order to approach Radha Krishna, we have to get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in order to get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have to get the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And in order to get the mercy of Lord Nityananda, we have to approach people like Jaga and Madai. Means we have to preach. Approach people means to preach, to help them, bring them to Krishna. And if we do that, then yes, then we will reach the goal. So there's plenty of opportunity for that. There's 99.9% of the population. That's, as Bhajanarayan Swami would say, on our downtown Harinams at the end of it, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, delivering all the Jagais and Madais, of which there is no shortage. That's what Maharaj said. So yes, there is no shortage. So there's no shortage of service. Interesting point. At the lounge, I go up and greet people and this and that, and so I'm curious how they found out about the lounge. So I was asking two girls there. They're probably in their 20s or 30s or something. So I asked them. I said, "How did you hear about the lounge?" She said, "Oh, I saw you guys down on Fifth Avenue, and you were chanting, down the street." And she said that she used to work there as a server at a bar. So every Friday or whatever it was, she would come out and she would see us, and then she said what she thought in her mind, or maybe she said it out loud to her friends or whatever. But she said, "These guys are a bunch of weirdos." That's what she thought. These guys are a bunch of weirdos. And then she said, "These guys don't know anything, just a bunch of." So then she told me that, and I was laughing, and she said, "Yeah, but then I got out of the bar scene, and I started getting into meditation, and I started chanting different mantras and this and that." And then she said that, and then you guys just stuck in my mind, just stuck in my mind, and then I looked you guys up, and then so I'm here. That was her second time to the Krishna Lounge. Yeah, and she brought her friend too, who was also part of the bar scene. So people do change, and we've all changed, right, to some degree. Means they've turned towards Krishna. So similarly, we should have that mercy, that kindness on others, and that's actually what Lord Nityananda wants. That's what Balarama wants, to give mercy to others via ISKCON, which ISKCON is not. ISKCON means the people within ISKCON. The devotees within ISKCON. And another point is that why do people join? Of course, people join for different reasons. But once Srila Prabhupada was actually asked this question, or actually Prabhupada asked devotees this question in a conversation. He said, "Why do people join?" And then, devotees, they'll say so many answers. So one devotee said, "Oh, well, we have a big institution," and Prabhupada said, "No, that's not the reason." He said, "There's so many institutions, and so many institutions have big buildings, so they don't join because of that." And then this devotee said, "Well, because our books." And Prabhupada said, on this particular occasion, he said, "We distribute so many books, and a lot of people don't read them. some people do, but so he said, no, that's not the reason. So then Prabhupada gave the answer himself. He said the reason people join us is that what they read in the books, they see us living by that. They see us living by what is said in the books, and therefore they feel inspired. Okay, hey, these people, they're living by what they're preaching, but what's in the books, and therefore, okay, I'm going to join. They feel inspired. So what I'm saying is that our ultimate, progress is not achieved by whatever, anything external we may achieve, but it's achieved by our devotional attitude, or our service, our ability, or our desire and our activity of giving mercy to the conditioned souls, and giving and taking the mercy ourselves. So this is what this is how we get Lord Balaram's mercy, that we develop that devotional attitude and we try to give mercy, just like Lord Nityananda did. So I'll stop there if there's any questions or yes, comments.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, definitely. Well, you were saying about how we have a choice how to use our time.
Yeah.
And sometimes we choose, to use it in something material. So, in the category of devotees, generally speaking, we're trying to become Krishna conscious, or at least where there's some degree of sincerity, otherwise we wouldn't be here. And yet we find, I'm certainly speaking for myself, sometimes I, choose something material. Oh, maybe I'll listen to the BBC, see what's up, or whatever it may be, So, and to a greater degree, we see that in other. So what is the cause, or what are some of the causes that serve as impetus or influence that, even though generally speaking we're sincere, sometimes we just choose, Maya, material, waste our time. Why?
Yeah.
What is it that influences us? What is the impetus, influence, cause? I'm sure there's many, so whatever comes to your mind is okay.
Well, the other day I was mentioning this, that I was on the plane, and I was sitting there, and I look over, and there was this older lady, and I see her, she really looks sincere, whatever. So she was reading a book by this big preacher, very big preacher, named Rick Warren. So many churches around, and he has a big church by Laguna Beach. Very successful in some ways. And I agree with a lot of his books. Actually good. There's actually one chapter I really don't agree with, though. But it's like hell and damnation, stuff like that. Politely said. So she was reading that book, and then that's very good, And then she pulls out a card, which is they call it a scratcher, which is a gambling card. You scratch it with your finger, or a coin. Yeah, lottery card. And you get 3 cherries and you win $10 or whatever. So then she pulled out a few of those, and I was thinking, okay, well, on some level she obviously had the sincerity, wanted to serve God, and but then she had this gambling thing, right? So I was even at the retreat. I was shocked that there's another example that. So I was sitting there on the bench, and it was a bit of a free time. And I was sitting there chanting some rounds. And then to the entrance of the hotel, I see this devotee, and he's standing there. And all of a sudden, I see some smoke billowing out, and he's wearing tilak and dhoti and everything. So I see some smoke billowing out. I was like, okay, so then I'm sitting there, and then it happens a few more times. It's just right there, right in the entrance. So then he looks over at me. And I'm just saying, maybe he thinks I'm one of the swamis or something. I'm in saffron, and then, he puts away his whatever it is, his e-cigarette or his vapor. So then, but the guy obviously had some sincerity, because I met him, and I didn't mention, hey man, I saw you puffing. I didn't say that. I met him and I talked with him, and he was like super sincere, just very nice, very pleasant person. But he just had that hang up, and he was a bhakta. He wasn't initiated. He just
maybe he used to smoke cigars and he was weaning himself off.
yeah. So yeah, there's that, you could say, conflict of interest, that conflict of desires. And I was reading yesterday that Prabhupada was saying that we're marginal. So we lean towards Maya, and then we're in darkness, we're in Maya, we'll fall in illusion. And we lean towards Krishna, then we're in light, and we'll be Krishna conscious. So that's the process, that's the struggle, to just keep on leaning towards Krishna, day after day, month after year. And then eventually, Krishna, we become more and more attracted to Krishna and less attracted to whatever's going on in this world. So it's conflict of interest, which is born from just conditioning, whatever you want to say, weakness of heart, conditioning, attraction to this world. But that's all destroyed by serving the spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual masters, who are representatives of Lord Balarama. That's how we get that strength. So, but yeah, we can't say that, this guy, this devotee, this bhakta who was puffing outside of a hotel, the retreat center, in the break time, we can't say that he wasn't sincere, because in many ways he was. And also this lady with the scratcher, but they just have some work to do and get more and more attraction to Krishna. So, of course, devotees, it's that whole patience thing, like, it's hard to be patient, because we want to be up at a particular level of Krishna consciousness, but if we're not there, it's kind of disheartening. I'm not there, I might become depressed, and this and that, but whatever the case is, wherever we are, we should just try to lean more and more towards Krishna. So, I don't know if that... Okay. Does anyone have... Yeah, we could... additions... It's Kali Yuga technology.
Anyway, I just wanted to bring up the point about Balarama. How is the master and you see that, as it says about it, pointed out, coming to the point of all why is that? And it seems that because it's very tempting to have those latent desires that previous life results in, that still pulls on us. When state that and so that's the battle. But that's exactly what master has relationship with the master. Somebody once said, well, can you receive the books? I mean, can you receive the books and go that way? No, you need to switch the master because it's completely real. Oh, really? Well, that's nice. So you got out your gate. And that, there's a verse about that in the 11th canto, actually quoted in the 1st canto of the Adi Lila, about the Krishna master. That's not the true judgment.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody asked me the other day, they said, oh, did your spiritual master give you the name Balaram because you're strong or because you need to be reminded that you're weak and you need to be reminded that you need the strength? I said, oh, probably the second one. So whether we're strong or weak, as Dravida Prabhu was saying, by the grace, by the teachings, by the example of the spiritual master, we're actually saved. There's so many examples of that. I was thinking of Mrigarhi. He was a hunter, half killing animals, and Narada Muni came and blessed him, and then he, such a great devotee. So there's so many examples. Yes.
At the same time, that's kind of what I was looking for. It's not that there used to be a commercial for a laundry soap, and this guy was just, he was really grungy, and the guy had a white knife would drive right by on the horse and point his lamp at them, and zing, they become completely clean. So sometimes we're like, hey, wow, what happened? Sometimes we think, that, oh, well, the duty of the spiritual master is exactly clean.
Yeah.
But we have to take the history, and what I was actually looking for was the value of keeping good association. We have to be willing to be molded. We have to be willing to hear the advice when we hear it. And we have to be, and to get that good advice, we have to keep good association. So like we're sitting on that fence and we didn't go down and lean one way or the other. So one of the ways we lead is by keeping good association and being open to this advice. Then you can Krishna fully.
Yeah. You're welcome. Hare Krishna. All right, Lord Balaram ki jai.